This is News at 6.
Good morning, Southwest Florida. Thanks for joining us for your news at 6 o'clock. I'm Christina Carilla.
I'm Emily Burris. Coming up on 6:30 here on this Wednesday morning, we will get to the overnight election results in just a moment. But first, another warm day in the works, and you might be seeing a little bit of fog this morning. Let's check in with meteorologist Cody Murphy. Cody.
Hey, good morning, guys. Good morning, Southwest 40. We are indeed waking up warm once again. Temperatures in the upper 60s and the 70s right now. We should be in the upper 50s this time of year. So we're at 68 in Fort Myers and 70 in Naples at the moment. And we also have a little bit of fog to deal with. It's nothing out of control, but certainly visibility down to about a half a mile up towards Charlotte and DeSoto County. So if you're living there in Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, be sure to allow yourself at least a little extra time as you make your way out the door this morning. Once the fog lifts, we're looking at a lot of sunshine towards the afternoon hours, but temperatures warm again. We're back into the mid-80s. The good news, though, we do have some cooler temperatures on the way for the weekend, but we got a little bit of rain to deal with. Of course, we'll get to all that in your full forecast coming up here in 10 minutes.
We're going to go forward, and we're going to win, but more importantly, we're going to win for the country. We're going to win, win, win.
ABC 7 continues our team coverage this morning of Super Tuesday. This morning, a major victory for Donald Trump. Trump winning the Florida primary among several other states as well.
And of course, with Trump's win comes another major headline today. Marco Rubio suspending his campaign after falling behind, losing to Trump in his home state. You can see they're 46 to 27%. Rubio was Trump's closest competitor. The others you can see in the race, Ted Cruz, John Kasich, really not even competitive in Florida with 17 and 7% of the vote. Now, on the Democratic side, it was another big night for Hillary Clinton. She swept the leaderboard away from Bernie Sanders, coming out a huge winner here in Florida.
Despite all these big wins for both Clinton and Trump, neither have enough delegates to win the nomination yet.
So where do the parties go from here? Well, getting us more this morning at 6 is ABC's Lana Zach. She joins us live from Washington. Lana, good morning.
Good morning, Emily and Christina. The entire nation was waiting to see how Florida would vote. And after handing that decisive victory to Hillary Clinton, she feels like today momentum is on her side.
If you've been waiting for the right moment, now's the time to come join us.
Big wins for Hillary Clinton, Florida, Ohio, North Carolina, and her childhood state of Illinois. Further widening her lead against Bernie Sanders.
The reason that we have defied all expectations is that we are doing something very radical in American politics. We're telling the truth.
On the Republican side, Donald Trump building on his momentum with several wins, but was denied a victory in Ohio by home state Governor John Kasich. A win hoped for by those seeking a contested Republican convention.
We are going to go all the way to Cleveland and secure the Republican nomination.
The other home state win wasn't there. Marco Rubio dropping out after being trounced by Donald Trump in Florida.
But after tonight, it is clear that while we are on the right side, this year, we will not be on the winning side.
Now only 3 Republicans remain in the contest: Kasich, Cruz, and Trump, the Republican frontrunner.
We have to bring our party together. We have to bring it together.
But the question remains, will the Republican Party come together before the convention?
If Cruz can beat Trump in Arizona, then I think we really are looking almost certainly at a contested convention.
Though with Marco Rubio losing in Florida, the possibility of a contested convention becomes less likely. However, if it did come to that, according to Republican rules, only candidates that had won 4 states at least would be eligible to be considered for the nomination. As of right now, that means only Ted Cruz or Donald Trump have qualified. Reporting live from Washington, Lana Zach, ABC News.
And Lana, are Republicans really starting to coalesce around Donald Trump as their nominee now?
Well, in ABC's exit polls, we found that really isn't the case yet with Republican voters. What we're seeing there is that 61% of those voters who cast their ballots for somebody other than Trump are more likely interested in a third-party candidate than in the Republican frontrunner. That's really unprecedented at this point in the campaign. But as far as the Republican leadership, well, we're starting to hear less attacks on Donald Trump as they have an eye towards the general election in November.
All right, Lana Zach live from Washington for us this morning.
Interesting to see what happens. Lana, thanks so much.
All right, let's get you more now. On the Florida primary, county by county, Donald Trump took every county except Miami-Dade. Miami-Dade is heavily Latino. Many Cuban Americans voted for Marco Rubio there. On the Democratic side, take a look. Hillary Clinton won a large majority of the state. Bernie Sanders won 9 counties. Clinton's largest margin of victory came in Collier County, 66%, with just under 13,000 votes. Lee County, Clinton picked up nearly 28,000 votes.
And getting you more this morning, the ABC7 team was out at the Lee County Election Center as voters made their selections on Tuesday. Reporter Teri Hornstein has their reaction as they left the polls and who they hope will lead our country next.
No lines. This was the easiest one we've had.
It was really fast. I just went in and out and, I got to do my duty.
Enthusiastic Lee County voters showed up, happy to cast their vote in the Florida presidential primary.
I'm new to Florida voting. I heard a lot about problems in Florida, but this was very simple.
And as it goes in politics, many different opinions.
Donald Trump.
Ted Cruz.
Marco Rubio.
I voted for Hillary.
But a singular message.
I think it's time for some fresh blood.
This just the first step towards what is going to be a sensational summer as voters gear up to watch it all unfold.
Tampa! Let's give it
ahead of the November election.
I think it's going to be a tough race. I really do.
It's going to be interesting.
In Lee County, Teri Hornstein, ABC7.
And let's get you more perspective now. We were on the ground for both parties, getting reaction from voters in Fort Myers. Young Republicans were not happy with the results. At the Young Republicans Watch Party in the River District, many said they expected him to win, but that doesn't mean they liked the results.
I'm a little scared. I do like Trump, but I'm a little worried because he doesn't really, I can totally get on board with, the anger about, the current state of our country, but I just don't feel like he's being very specific.
But America deserves better. I serve this country, and we deserve a president that we can trust, that isn't going to use his celebrity status for his own personal gain.
Many of them say they'll back whoever gets the Republican nomination, though. ABC7 was also there for a Democratic watch party. The Progressive Democratic Club of Lee County hosting a watch party at Catch 22 in Fort Myers. All of them were happy with Clinton's big win. Voters tell us they believe Hillary Clinton will eventually make history as this year's Democratic nominee. The group said the Democratic voter turnout will increase in the general election, especially if Donald Trump is the Republican nominee.
I think that they should do this on Saturday where nobody has to work because they're going to mess up everybody's commute.
Here is a story you are sure to hear about today. A major shutdown underway right now in Washington, D.C. This is sure to have a huge impact on people's morning commute. The entire metro system, it is the biggest in the country, is going to be shut down for 29 hours for the first time in 4 decades. Now, the reason is over safety concerns following a fire on the subway tracks on Monday. The problem was said to be faulty cables that provide electricity to the rails. Well, that same problem was identified for another train fire last year. One person died in that fire after smoke entered the train. The Metro's new manager said all cables on the system now have to be checked. The federal government says it'll be open today, but encourages employees to telework from home, take unpaid leave, or use a vacation day. Anything to beat that commute.
Oh, that's going to be a mess for sure. 6:38, ABC7 is getting new information on an apparent shooting and car crash. It happened on Summerlin Road in Fort Myers. The road was shut down for 17 hours Tuesday. I'm sure you know about this. Lee County deputies now say 43-year-old Friedrich Fritz Timmerman was driving this car here when it slammed into a concrete barrier near Summerlin and Park Meadows Drive. That car there, it happened around 9 o'clock Monday night. Around the same time, deputies were called to a possible shooting in the same exact spot. The deputies found Timmerman inside the car with a fatal wound. He later died at the hospital.
And so, oh my God, that's scary because I live here with my kids and, it's close to my house and it's scary.
The road is back open this morning. Detectives say their investigation, though, still ongoing.
Big changes could be coming for a Southwest Florida proposed high school.
A major recommendation has been proposed, which brings the school one step closer Two homeowners who are threatening to sue. We'll explain in just a few minutes.
Plus, what's old is new again in the Naples mayoral race, and his new focus will be focused on protecting local beaches.
No rain to worry about getting out the door this morning, but we do have some areas of patchy fog out there, so be sure to watch out for that. Temperature is warm. It's 68 degrees right now, and it's very humid outside. That humidity is going to stick around this afternoon. Our temperature is going to be above average. ABC 7 is a place you get your forecast every 10 minutes, and coming up, we'll take a look at the numbers expected in your neighborhood later on today.